Right now, it is time for our Kings trade target of the day. Dejounte Murray is the guy. And people, Alan, come on. We got to do better than that. Now, hold on now. Don't be disrespectful to Dejounte Murray. Look, he is a distressed asset, all right? He is coming off that Achilles injury. We have no clue what the Pelicans are doing. Before his injury, he was averaging 2 more points than his career average at 17.5, 1 more rebound at 6.5 rebounds a game, and 2 more assists at 7.4. He does struggle to shoot the basketball from three-point land at 29.9%, kind of a mid-range guy. I dubbed him a De'Aaron Fox light, okay? And somebody who does play, I would say, a good defense as De'Aaron Fox. He's 28 years old. Like I said, based on when he injured his Achilles, I feel like he'd be back before the turn of the new year because it was definitely in November. It was either November or December. He did not play very long.
It was January 31st.
Okay. So he'd be back sometime in probably February, realistically, towards the end of the season. Like I said, he is, and we're not going to do stars every day, people. All right. It's a long summer. And he is going to be paid $31.6 million next season, then 33.6, then 31.6. The way Kyle kind of said this to me yesterday, and I did want to rock and roll with it, is you could have Ja Morant at close to $40 million, and you got to give up DeMar DeRozan and Malik Monk. Would you rather have Ja Morant and give up DeMar DeRozan and Malik Monk and, whatever picks that they want? Or would you rather have Dejounte Murray and only have to give up DeMar DeRozan? You get to keep Malik Monk. My answer, I know he's older. I know he's coming off Achilles, and he did have an injury prior to that. He did not play a lot. Bad season, bad injury season for Dejounte Murray.
He had a broken wrist before that.
Yeah, he barely played with the Pelicans.
But he also, when he was on the Spurs, tore his ACL, I believe, in the same knee.
That's enough, Kyle. That's enough. I'm taking Dejounte Murray and keeping Malik Monk, and I would take that chance and moving on from DeMar DeRozan rather than giving up DeMar DeRozan and Malik Monk for Ja Morant. I would hope that the Kings could do better, don't get me wrong, regardless. But if you're looking around and Trae Young, the Hawks decide, nope, we're still going to keep Trae Young, and Ja Morant, that price tag is just kind of ridiculous, I'd go in the direction of Dejounte. Now, the problem is you wouldn't have him next season. That's the biggest issue, is that you wouldn't have him to start the season. But from a point guard position, over 7 assists a game. I know he can't really shoot, but what he can't do in shooting, he also can shoot the mid-range at a good clip. I'd be in. Unless Ja is dropping the price tag, I'd be in on Dejounte Murray as a distressed asset. I don't think he's to the point where they would have to attach a pick, but I don't think they're far off. If they really wanted to get off of it, and everybody knows that, well, Dejounte ain't even coming back for this season, they might attach a pick, and then I'd really be in. This team is not going – I don't know how good this team is going to be next season, so I'm not going to look around and make crazy decisions trying to go from a 9 seed to a top 3 seed in this West. I'm marathon, not a sprint in this situation.
And we've talked about this before, about how, like, after the top 5 point guards in the league, which is, Steph, Luka, Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, like, after those guys, Shea, after that, you've kind of just got like a group of like 7 to 14 that are like, is Jamal Murray better than Kyrie Irving? Who's better than Ja Morant? Who's better than Trae Young? We don't know. But there's a very real world where the Kings strike out on everyone 7 through 15.
Right.
Who are potentially available, at which point you have to filter down to 16 through 30.
This feels like a very realistic approach, which would make the Kings better. You got to get him back on the court, but it's realistic to me. I would also say we don't know what's going to happen with the Nuggets. The Nuggets could win this series, and they could keep rolling.
Jokic might carry them.
But if you're asking me, both at 28, if you're asking me, would I rather have Dejounte, and this might be disrespectful, would I rather have, because I'm just saying because they're both in kind of the same tier, would I rather have Dejounte Murray at 31.6 mil, although he won't be able to play a full season, or Jamal Murray at 46.3 mil?
With the risk that if Jamal Murray plays bad, you can't move that contract.
You're right. You could, yes, you could, and they're both the same age, mind you. Then in 2026, 2027, and Jamal Murray also, he hasn't had he had the ACL too, and he missed that time. So Jamal Murray at the age of 29 in 2026, 2027 will make $50.1 million. Dejounte Murray will make 33.6. Now, I get it. He's a champion and everything like that. Everything like that. He is a champion. But you're paying for that. You're paying for the champion.
Yes, that's the tough part about it is once you get into it's not going to be Ja Morant, it's not going to be Trae Young, and it's not going to be Damian Lillard. Then you get into, you got to go with one of the Pelicans or Jazz, right? Those are the guys that are on the table, or you sign one in free agency.
Can you help me, Kyle? 530. Oh my gosh, you were probably against Butler. I was, and I still am because I don't know how Jimmy Butler works on the Kings. The Kings are not the Warriors, but I'll continue on. But you'd remotely, this is what I'm talking about. But you remotely considered Ja, absolutely crazy talk, DeMar and Jake over DeMar and Levine. That the second part of that text just threw me.
Saying DeMar and Laravia?
I don't know.
Is Jake?
We went from not wanting Ja to DeMar and Jake being better than DeMar and Levine. I don't know. Normally, I don't read texts that don't make a ton of sense, but that one made so little sense, I felt like I should.
I got a little chuckle out of that one.
Yeah.
Well, let's wait and see what this is just, again, a joke. Let me see what DeMar and Levine can do when Colin Sexton is playing point guard.
Oh, look, man. Don't joke about stuff that could actually happen. And Jordan Clarkson?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you strike out on Trae Young, Ja Morant, or any of those, point guards 7 through 15 that we say are all the same, then you're looking at one of the Pelicans, which is CJ McCollum or Dejounte Murray, or one of the Jazz, which is insert Jazz point guard here.
And then it becomes, like I said, do you want to overpay or do you want to pay the current Ja price tag? We know that his value might be down a little bit. We just don't know by how much. 916 says definitely Dejounte, apparently more mature than Ja. Malik is also the verbal leader of the team, so I wouldn't want to lose Malik. That is to the beginning of the conversation when we said, would you rather give up DeMar DeRozan and Malik Monk to acquire Ja or just DeMar DeRozan to acquire Dejounte Murray? And y'all know where I'm at. It is tough that he probably won't be available until about February. But you look around, man, these point guards, you want the point guard, you got to pay point guard prices. And again, that is the issue with paying Zach LaVine all that money. But when you do decide to hold on to Zach LaVine, this is where it leads you. You can't pay 3 dudes $40 million. And you can, but from what we've learned, that's not what the Kings want to do.